Welcome back to the Schottenstein Center, Columbus, Ohio, as we now take a look at the Donato starting lineups, beginning with the Golden Gales of Lancaster.
And you look over at the Golden Gales, and of course Christopher McKnight and his brother Brett McKnight, the two guys, the forwards. Grant Leitnicker is just a really good center. He's an Indiana State recruit, but those three guys form a real nice front court and a half-court offense.
And Lucas and Carr, the back court, going to have to face that pressure of Trotwood. Let's take a look at the Rams starting lineup.
And Chris Wright, of course, is the guy that makes this go. Marone inside is also a force, and Darby is a guy that can get things done. This is a team that likes to get out and run. They'll rotate in 10 guys, sometimes even deeper. They want to run, they want to control the pressure, and they want to get up and down the court and not let Lancaster get into that half-court offense.
Coach John Kaufman in his third season, outstanding record, 56-17. And oh boy, does he want to get that trip to the championship game tomorrow.
Yeah, they've been here 3 times. This is their 3rd time. Haven't been to a state title game yet. This could be the year for the Gales.
Taking a look at the Rams head coach, Ike Thornton. Outstanding record, 67-27 in his 4th year.
Yeah, real nice story here too. He is going to step down at the end of this season. He and his family are moving to San Antonio, Texas. His seniors and his team wants to extend this and give him 2 more games and a state championship to take with him to Texas.
Now let's talk about the particulars in this game. As you mentioned, the Golden Gales, they're going to play a half-court style offense, and the Rams are going to get after it and try to run the floor. Let's take a look at our officials who've been calling tonight's game. Michael Vashek, Robert Luklin, and Carl Davidson.
Yeah, and Eric, you touched on it. Anytime you're dealing with a contrast in styles like we are here, a team that likes to run, a team that likes to slow it down, the team that can impose its will wins about 80 to 85% of the time.
Going back to that game against Brookhaven for the Golden Gales, Dave Bacon, the tip-in, the shot that was heard around the state of Ohio. Sometimes when you win a championship, you win games like that.
Oh, always. You always get tested a couple of times on your way to the state title. And both of these teams really have gone through those tests. Not quite as dramatic as a tip-in with under a second left, to beat Columbus Brookhaven a power and get here.
And as we mentioned, Trotwood Madison started out the year 11-5, then ran off 10 impressive wins to get here. Yeah,
they had a loss February 4th to Meadowdale, lost by 20. And in talking to their coaching staff, they said that was the time we kind of got together and said, guys, we've got to just get it done. Dig deep and get it done. And that's kind of the motto that they've taken forward. They've won 10 straight, as you mentioned, and they're playing very good basketball.
And the winner of this game is going to face Canton McKinley. Oh, by the way, last year, the Bulldogs lost 1 game. That was to who? The Golden Gales of Lancaster.
Yeah, and McKinley, of course, the defending big school state champs. They're going to get a chance to defend that state title against whichever of these teams, Trotwood, Madison, or Lancaster, whichever one can get it done tonight, gets McKinley and a chance to stop the repeat.
And Trotwood is going to come out here like fire. They want to get the running game right at the tip.
Yeah, that's their style. It's no secret, They want to get up and down the court. They're going to substitute freely. They feel they can go 10, 11 deep, and they don't lose much at all.
The Rams are in their white uniforms, trimmed in red, the red stripe, and the Golden Gales of Lancaster in the blue and gold.
And I think one of the things that, that Coach Kaufman is now telling his guys is, guys, don't let the game speed up. He knows that the pressure's coming. His team knows the pressure's coming. The most important thing is play it at the pace you can play at and control the tempo of this game. Don't try to play too fast. That's what's going to be important to see in the first few minutes of this game.
Chris Wright will be jumping center for the Rams. Again, this is a team that is very, very athletic. And he'll go up against McKnight.
Our stars of the game by AT&T jumping center to get it going.
And the tip is controlled by the Rams, working to the basket to our left. Patrick Hill, man-to-man defense by the Golden Gales. Here on the near side, Darby behind the arc.
Like the patience the Rams are showing, they're trying to work a guy free on the baseline and running off screens.
Patrick Hill,
And
the junior.
Notice that the Gales are not really extending the defense. They know the Rams like to score in transition. Half-court game is not the Rams' game.
High post pick. Nothing there for Hill. On top, Wright will shoot the jumper off of the back of the iron, no good. Loose ball, and Lancaster comes up with it, and they're running. Jordan Lucas. Reverse it on top. McKnight. Brett McKnight, the forward. Bounce pass here on the right wing. Lucas. Inside to Lightnecker.
Nice job inside by Marone to keep Lightnecker away from the basket.
Pulling up from the foul line. McKnight's shot is short. There's the athleticism we talked about. Chris Wright, the 6'6" junior forward, making his presence known early.
And the thing that Lancaster has to do, they have to rebound the ball better and get back on defense, or it's going to be a long night.
Kevin Carr handles the offense for the Golden Gales. Lightnecker on top. Lucas, bounce pass inside, looking for McKnight. Nice move, but well defensed. And another long outlet. This is Jarrell Leak, and Leak gives it up again to Chris Wright. Back-to-back slams.
Eric, this isn't going to get it done, and that's a good timeout by Coach Kaufman, because there were 4 Rams surrounding the basket and just 1 Gale. Take a look at this. Count the white jerseys. Here's a nice dish inside. There's the slam, and you only see white jerseys around the basketball. A nice start for Coach Thornton and his Rams. Exactly what they want. They got out and ran in a hurry.
We said this team was fast, and they're showing it here. Good crowd on hand for tonight's semifinal game. As you mentioned, John Kaufman, what was he telling his kids during that timeout?
Guys, just settle down, and we really need to not get 4 guys. We had 4 guys inside of 5 feet of the basket, and that's why the Rams got the rebound and beat them up court.
We told you the Rams will come at you with pressure and traps, and they will pressure the inbound.
And what you do with this is you take a half-court team like Lancaster out of their offensive rhythm. They haven't been able to get into it, but this changes the cutting angles and it changes the whole offensive flow just by switching up the pressure.
Lucas looks inside. Brett McKnight, and the first field goal by the Golden Gales.
Yeah, a really nice look inside, and a nice job by the Gales. Good timeout by Coach Kaufman.
Oh, Patrick Hill pushed it up quickly into the front court, didn't he? The Rams set up their half-court offense, long 3, and that's off of the back of the rim, no good. And Darby will shoot that long 3, and he'll take it off the dribble as well.
Yeah, he does like shooting off the 3, but again, Lancaster now with a much better, feel about the game. The thing about a running team, they get out and run and get some easy baskets, and it's easy to hang your head. And I think that's why Coach Kaufman's timeout was just terrific.
Man-to-man defense continues for the Rams. High post, McKnight. Lightnecker. Carr at the left elbow. Now inside is bumped, and a whistle and a foul, and this could go against Jarrell Leak, number 5.
Yeah, I think what happened is there was a couple guys pushing, and Leak kind of got caught in the middle of pushing and got called for the foul.
First foul of the ball game, so the Golden Gales will inbound in the front court from the far sideline.
And it's important for Lancaster not to get, out of their rhythm. They had a nice half-court set. They need another one this time down.
Carr lets it fly from NBA range and nails it.
That's always a nice half-court set when you can hit it from about 23 feet.
The senior's three-point field goal percentage is 42. That is outstanding. And they take the lead for the first time, 5-4, as the Rams set up their half-court offense. Working against Carr. On top, Marone. Over right wing, Leak. Bounce pass top, Hill. Now Hill will go back in between the circles, and he'll take Carr off of the dribble, pulls up foul line, grazes the front of the iron. Offensive rebound, and
Lightnecker with a nice block.
Marone. Here's Carr in the front court. Fakes the bounce pass to the right. Pulls up from the 12. Off of the front of the rim, no good, and it's cleared by Wright. Darby now reverses, sets up the half-court offense. Give it to Patrick Hill, the junior guard.
Eric, it's pretty evident the first 4 minutes of this for Lancaster to have a good chance here. They need to force Trotwood Madison into the half court. The Rams half court has not been effective.
Dribble penetration turnover as he threw it away. He was looking for a cutter on the right block. 5-0 run. Lancaster finding their rhythm now after being down 4-0.
Yeah, they're controlling the tempo more so. You know, they're not letting the Rams get out and get those easy baskets.
And that shot off of the mark. This is the strength of this team, is offensive rebounding. Ibrahim Marone, the 6'6" senior, with the putback.
Yeah, great position. Grabbed it with his big left hand and put it in to give Trotwood the lead by a point now.
Carr, nice look inside to the cutter McKnight, and he throws it down with some thunder.
I tell you what, Kevin Carr is playing a nice game. He has had a couple of nice looks, got the easy look to McKnight there, and he also hit the long three. Again, these Golden Gales run the half court so effectively.
Bounce pass to right, over near wing, Leak. Back on top to Hill, has it stolen away. Lead bounce pass is off of the Rams, I do believe. Maintain Golden Gales possession. And with that, we'll take our first timeout. 7-6, Lancaster on top. Welcome back to the Schottenstein Center. 7-6 our score. Lancaster will inbound behind their own bucket. If you're just joining us, the Rams started out quick. 2 consecutive dunks. They led 4-0. Then Lancaster settled into their half-court rhythm. Now have the 1-point lead. And McKnight with a nice fake and a whistle and a foul as he's unable to convert on the lean in, but he will be shooting a pair.
And McKnight got away with putting the ball on the floor there, and it almost got taken away. But look at this. Carr with the nice look and the cut by McKnight for the jam. And a nice way to finish by McKnight, but go over and pat Kevin Carr on the back because that was a great pass.
The front end of 2 rattles out. McKnight, a 70% free throw shooter. As you mentioned, Dave, verbally committed to Akron. First team All-Ohio. In fact, was the first Golden Gale to reach 1,000 points. He has a little over 11 as he converts the second free throw.
Yeah, he has over 1,100 points as the school's all-time leading scorer.
Oh, that McKnight name is very common with this program. 4 brothers have played here, and 2 tonight. Scott Jones in for the Rams. And his lean in, can't convert, but one of his teammates is there to get the putback. Marone again. He is their offensive rebounding specialist.
Yeah, and he's a guy that can run, and he's athletic enough that he cleans up a lot of misses. We've seen 2 of them already, and you're going to get a lot of points that way on this team because they do run and try to score in transition.
Nice look to Brett McKnight. He pulls up and he nails his jumper.
Again, just so impressed with the way the Gales run that half-court offense. They know where the cutter's going to be. They know what the second, third, and fourth options are. It's real nice to watch a team that can run their offense that well.
Top of the key right, near side, Morgan. Morgan looks at down at the left block and off of the dribble. Here comes Ahmed Darby, and nothing there. But again, another offensive board for Marone and the stick back.
Somebody needs to put a body on Marone because he is really he's really doing damage on the offensive boards. And I think that's what Coach Kaufman is intimating as well.
Darby working on Brett McKnight and a little too close as he's called for the foul.
Again, though, that's a good thing. The Rams are trying to get Lancaster out of that rhythm, and the way you do that is by putting different points of pressure at different areas of the court.
And Brett McKnight will check out. Inbound to Carr. Again, Scott Jones in the ball game for the Rams. Gets a little bump. Reverses at the foul line. Now here near side. Into the hands of Swinehart. And a whistle and a foul underneath. Oh, Christopher McKnight makes good, intelligent moves on the floor with the basketball and away from the basketball.
Yeah, he's a nice low post player and a 70% free throw shooter, actually 71% on the year.
His second trip to the line tonight, front end, up and in. Darby comes in for the Rams. Ike Thornton will rotate 10 people, folks. You will see everybody in the red and white will play in this game. Lightnecker will now make his way out as McKnight makes his way back in. And the senior, 2 out of 2, 3 out of 4 here in the first quarter. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. 12-2. Lancaster leads by 2. Jones in the front court. High post pick as he dribbles right. Now put in the hands of Morgan. Jumper well off of the mark by Alexander. British Alexander, the 6'6" senior, had a good look, overshot it. Carr again working against Jones. Nice give to McKnight. The finger roll is blocked by British Alexander. One of their best shot blockers, if not the best shot blocker for the Rams team. And there's a fine jumper there by Ibrahim Marone. And Ibrahim Marone now, I believe, with 4 field goals, his first jumper.
8 points, and as you mentioned, 6 of those 8 coming on offensive putbacks.
Lucas looking inside, nothing there. Over to Swinehart. Left block McKnight, now back to his brother Brett McKnight.
Yeah, the Gales will be in no hurry, may take the last shot, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Pull it out, take the last shot of the quarter.
8 seconds remaining on the clock. Carr. Well, nobody chased him, and he banks it in.
Him. Heads up, you got to like the quarter that Carr has played.
Well, first quarter, Lancaster up by 2. But Ibrahim Marone for the Rams has been Mr. Everything for Trotwood Madison.
4 of 5 from the field and 8 points, the leading scorer, and has helped the Rams with this lead.
Welcome back to the Schottenstein Center, everybody, as we begin quarter number 2. 14-12 our score. Lancaster by 2, but the Rams came out in a fury.
Yeah, they're playing above the rim. There's a dunk, and take a look at it again. Another dunk, and Chris Wright finishing it off strong, and the Rams down 2, though, as we start the quarter.
Man-to-man defense continues for the Rams. Carr runs the offense along with Lucas, and that ball was last touched by the Rams, so it'll maintain Golden Gales possession.
Trying to get Brett McKnight free. They were trying to run him off a couple of picks, and he just got caught up in the middle there and couldn't get free. Out of bounds.
Lightnecker. And no whistle there as he got hit on the arm. Loose ball picked up by the Rams, and they're going to run with it. In the front court quickly, Morgan. And he'll take it all the way off of the right side. No good, but there's another rebound and a stick back by British Alexander, the 6'6" senior.
Yeah, and they're doing a nice job on the offensive glass. Trotwood Madison, that's their 4th offensive rebound, and ties it up. Those lead to second chance points, and that's been a big thing for the Rams in this first quarter plus minutes.
Scott Jones called on the foul, his first, team's 5th. And facing some pressure. Kevin Carr gets away from the pressure via the dribble. Now he's going to shoot that long 3 off of the right side of the rim. No good, cleared by the Rams. Darby with a good clear out for the board.
And again, the Rams have not run their half-court offense very efficiently. They've been able to get some offensive rebounds and second chance points.
Jones has it stripped away by Kevin Carr. And now Carr is going to slow it up. No, he's going to bounce past Brett McKnight on that left block. His shot too strong, cleared by Darby. Ball's on the floor. Darby maintains possession and is fouled from behind by Jordan Lucas.
That's actually not a bad foul because he had a clear path to the basket, and rather than give him that, you foul him and just give him the ball out of bounds. That is a foul of hustle, which coaches will generally live with.
That is the first team foul on the Golden Gales. Darby This is Jones, back to Darby. Bounce pass inside, Marone, and a double dribble.
Yeah. You know, there's just not a lot of movement in the half-court offense for the Rams, and I'm sure that's something that, you know, Coach Thornton will try to get them to pick up as this game moves along.
Talking about that half-court offense, first quarter numbers, field goal percentage for Lancaster, 63% and 46% for Trotwood Madison. Nice look inside to Lightnecker, and a foul.
You know, it's really impressive is all of the big guys for Lancaster can pass very well, and you see it right there. A good look by McKnight to Lightnecker. He can't finish, but he will draw the foul. When you have big guys that can pass, it really makes your half-court offense effective.
Lucas, looking for McKnight off of his fingertips, and the Rams running. 2-on-2 break, and taking it coast to coast is Scott Jones.
Yeah, he's the guy that's their penetrator and their slasher, and you saw his game right there. Again, in transition, the Rams are tough.
Carr with a nice crossover dribble. Now in the near corner. Again, that pass is tipped, but Brett McKnight maintains possession. Stolen away, and the Rams have another turnover. Now Dwayne Morgan Jr., the 5'6" junior. We have not seen him shoot that deep three yet. He is a very, very quick guard. Scott Jones. Over to Darby. He'll launch the three. Rims out. And a good rebound by Christopher McKnight.
Yeah, McKnight's really impressive. He has rebounded the ball extremely well, and he's very quick on his feet. He's got some nice low post moves.
Averages just under 9 rebounds per game. Looking for Lightnecker, and off of his hands, and it'll go out of bounds to the Rams. As now checking in, Patrick Hill returns for Trotwood Madison.
Last couple possessions for Lancaster have really been kind of sloppy. It's 3 straight turnovers, and that isn't the type of basketball we're used to seeing from the Gales in the half court.
They're very fundamentally sound.
And they need to be against a team like Trotwood.
There's a steal by Lightnecker. He has to reverse it to McKnight. Outside, Carr will shoot the three. Rims out. Brett McKnight with the rebound. His turnaround off of the front of the iron. No strong rebound by Ibrahim Marone. But goes out of bounds, but Rams maintain possession as it went off of Kevin Carr from Lancaster.
Marone already 4 rebounds. He is just a wide body, and you know what? He has good hands for a big guy. You can notice that immediately. He catches the ball very well.
30-second timeout by the Rams. We'll take it with them. 14-16 our score. Trotwood has a 2-point lead. Welcome back to the Schottenstein Center as we take a look at our Ohio Army National Guard fan cam. Good crowd on hand, both teams, and in fact all the games here at the Schottenstein Center have seen huge crowds.
Absolutely. The morning session had over 14,000.
Wow.
And you know, great games all day long, and again, another nice crowd. Winner of this, of course, gets Canton-McKinley in the Division I championship game tomorrow night.
Man-to-man defense continues for the Gales. Dwayne Morgan Jr. Bounce pass here near corner to Patrick Hill. And they have to chase it in the backcourt, and a whistle and a foul against Jordan Lucas.
I think it's going to be a backcourt violation.
Is it going to be a backcourt violation? Okay.
But what you need to do, and you see Golden Gales scoreless in their last 3:24, but very dangerous. You have to play that and grab the ball and get possession of it in the backcourt, because if Lancaster gets it, they can get it and score an easy layup. So very heads-up play by the Golden Gales.
Dominic Britt, the 6'4" sophomore. He is their inside scorer, not much of an outside threat, but makes his first appearance for the Rams. And he's going up against Lightnecker. And Lightnecker loses the ball out of bounds.
And they are really out of sorts. This is a very good half-court team. We saw it in the first 10 minutes of the game. In the last 5 minutes, we just have not seen the same type of execution.
4 or 5 turnovers here in the second quarter for the Golden Gales. Swinging and around the perimeter. Dwayne Morgan Jr. There's his 3-point attempt. Off of the rim, no good. but there with the rebound and the stick back is Dominic Britt for his first field goal of the ball game.
And credit Darby for tapping that up and keeping it alive. Here we see the half-court trap again, and you know, it's worked. Lancaster is not in any type of rhythm, and it's because of the defense of the Rams.
And the Rams matched their largest lead, 4. They led 4-0 and now are on top by 4, 18-14. Brett McKnight on the top of the key. Looks for the cutter. That's Kevin Carr. Shot blocked.
British Alexander again. 2
blocks for Alexander, who leads the team in that category. Driving is Patrick Hill, and a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, and the Golden Gales, to kind of further illustrate, 0 of 6 for their last field goal attempts with 4 turnovers as well. So, you know, credit Trotwood Madison's defense, because it's really changed the complexion and the tempo of this game.
Talk about how this team loves to push it.
And there you see the foul is called from behind, and the Rams will inbound the ball underneath their own basket.
Darby to Morgan Jr. Off of the rim, no good, and a rebound by Christopher McKnight. Here's Carr. Carr over to Lightnecker, and bodies fall down, including Drew Swinehart, the 6'5" junior.
Shaking off the effects. He hit his elbow when he fell, and anybody who's done that can tell you how that feels. And right there you see, didn't have anything to break his fall except his elbow. Now he gets to go to the free throw line and try to make a couple here. And the drought now 5:03 for the Golden Gales, and that goes back into the first quarter. Swinehart only a 35% free throw shooter, and you see him rubbing that elbow, trying to get some feeling back in it.
Well, they like him. They say he sees the court well, a very good passer. In fact, Swinehart's dad coached at Logan High School. And the 1-and-1. Nope. So still looking for points here in the second quarter. And Patrick Hill makes his way into the front court to Dwayne Morgan. Back to Hill. And Dwayne Morgan Jr. Nope. And another rebound and a putback. Armand Darby, the 6'2" junior.
8-second chance points now for the Rams, and when their half-court offense is not working, the way you overcome that is by attacking the offensive boards, and that's exactly what the Rams have been able to do. And they have an 8-0 lead in second chance points.
And their biggest lead of the ball game, 20-14. Lightnecker off of the dribble, in traffic, no. Rebound, Brett McKnight, but was he over the back? They say yes.
Yeah, and credit Dwayne Morgan Jr., little guy, you know, just 5'8", with boxing out McKnight and drawing that over the back call. It's good fundamental defense by Dwayne Morgan Jr.
And John Kaufman and the Golden Gales want to talk things over as they take a full timeout.
Yeah, that's got to be concerning, Eric, because they've been playing in the half court, and they've gone through now over 5 minutes, approaching 6 minutes without scoring a basket, and they can't afford to do that. In the half court, they have to be able to score, especially against a team as athletic as Trotwood Madison is.
Well, a lot of talent on this floor this evening here at the Schottenstein Center, and some of these players going on to colleges to continue their basketball careers. Christopher McKnight going to Akron, and Kevin Carr to UMass Lowell. Brant Lightnecker is going to Indiana State. And we told you about Chris Wright, verbally committed as a junior to Dayton.
Yeah, and you know what? From what we've seen, particularly of Wright and McKnight, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch in college. McKnight will fit right in with what Akron likes to do. They'll put him up there with Romeo Travis and those guys, and they'll have a lot of fun inside with this kid because he can run the floor.
Lancaster defensively will not pressure the inbound here after the timeout. And Patrick Hill will walk it up into the front court. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. 20-14 our score. Dwayne Morgan Jr. working against Swinehart. Now inside to Marone. His shot won't go. Another rebound and another stick back. Dominic Britt hits his second field goal.
A 10-0 run for the Rams, and a lot of it on second chance points, offensive rebounds, and 10 offensive rebounds. Just a nice job. I mean, they are really doing a job on the offensive glass.
British Alexander defended the baseline real well. As you take a look at Lightnecker, and he's going to be tied up. Good hustle by Dominic Britt. And the Rams get possession again.
And the drought now is over 6.5 minutes.
Now some pressure on the guard. Kevin Carr working against Patrick Hill. Wayne Morgan Jr. Nice crossover at the left elbow. Nice dish inside. How about that look to Marone?
McKnight recovered with the block, but Marone again didn't panic, got his own rebound off of the block and put it back in. Marone has been a force inside. He's got 8 points, and now it's 12-0 on second chance points in favor of Trotwood Madison.
And the offensive boards, he has been a monster. McKnight, near side, Carr, crossover dribble. Carr at the right elbow, just lost it over there to Lightnecker. Lightnecker pinned on that left block, but he's able to take it up strong and converts the first field goal in the second quarter at the 35-second mark.
Yeah, and that's a very big play for the Gales. Lead is just 8, and with the way they played in this quarter, they are fortunate they're not down by a lot more.
Nice ball handling by Patrick Hill. And now they're going to hold for the last shot. Dwayne Morgan Jr. as it's down to 11 seconds.
And what they're going to try to do here is spread the court out a little bit, set a pick, and try to use their speed.
Bounce pass to Morgan Jr. for 3, rims out. Rebounded Lancaster. And that's how we'll finish the first half of play, 24-16. It was a game in the first quarter, and then Trotwood defensively went on a run, and they lead at halftime. Brought to you by the new AT&T and Marathon. Trotwood 24-16 over Lancaster. And as we take a look at our Ohio Education Association stats, well, numbers don't lie.
You see the shooting percentage for Trotwood is significantly higher, but the thing that really jumps out is the rebounds. And what it's done is it's led to second chance points and points in the paint. Madison is leading the second chance points 14-0, and they're outscoring Lancaster 22-6 points in the paint. And Ike Thornton's guys have done a nice job. However, for Coach Kaufman, you went through a 7-minute and 21-second period in that first half where you did not score, and you're only down by 8 points as you get the ball to start the third quarter. You're not feeling that bad, given what things could be.
That's right. They could have been down by a bunch. Now working to the basket to our left, McKnight to Christopher McKnight. This is Kevin Carr, and a whistle away from the ball.
And that time what Brett McKnight did is he gave Carr a better target to hit. He kind of cleared out with the lower part of his body and came forward with the upper part and gave him a better target. The only way a defender can go is around him there and get the foul, and that's what happened. So he's either going to get the ball in a low block or somebody's going to foul him, as long as he takes that position to the ball. That's the third foul on Darby.
Yeah, the 6'2" junior. Off of the dribble, Carr.
Chris Wright, a heck of a defensive play. And now look at the break.
As late. Oh, wow.
And that's the guy that started it all with the block.
Right to Leak, and then back to Wright. That'll make the highlight reel. Brett McKnight off the dribble, and he pulls up. Good shot over Chris Wright. Barely got it over his fingertips, but went right back at him.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do inside is you can't be intimidated by Chris Wright. You just have to keep going at him.
Patrick Hill put it in the hands of Marone at the left elbow. Hill to Wright. Looking inside to Marone on the right block, working against Lightnecker, and banks it in. A force on the blocks here tonight.
And Marone is too strong physically in the lower part of his body for Lightnecker. He had that battle won when he got the ball.
Biggest lead of the ball game, 10 points, 28-18.
And now 26-6 points in the paint in favor of Trotwood.
Long three, McKnight off of the rim, but his brother Christopher McKnight there for the offensive board and the putback.
And now the Gales finally getting a little bit of that offensive rebounding going.
And it's stolen by McKnight, steals it from right. Here's Carr. Carr left block to McKnight, and again back-to-back field goals by the Golden Gales. And a timeout on the floor, and that's what Lancaster needed, making a little bit of run here.
Yeah, the Gales have done a nice job in getting back in this. And there you see the jam by Chris Wright.
Welcome back, everybody. I want to mention that Coach Jack Greathouse, longtime coach for Lancaster, really put this program on the map. And he is the godfather, so to speak, of the Gale Force, which is also the other nickname that Lancaster goes by. Well, I tell you what, the Gale Force winds were blowing there. Back-to-back field goals by Christopher McKnight, who positioned himself well. That's what they needed. They trimmed that biggest lead, now down to 6, 28-22. Here come the Rams in their half-court set. British Alexander with a couple of good defensive blocks here tonight. Now to Marone, who's been Mr. Everything. Back outside, Alexander for three. Off of the mark, no good. Here's Carr. Working against Leak. Bounce pass inside. How about McKnight again? So now Lancaster, 3 straight field goals for number 32, and it's now a 4-point game.
And McKnight now with 11 points in the game is asserting himself on the offensive end.
Lancaster getting after it defensively. Here in the near corner, Chris Wright looks inside. Marone is stripped, but then comes up with the loose ball, and that baby jump hook that he's been famous for converts another field goal for the Rams.
He has got so much strength on the low block in the lower part of his body. Once he gets set, people cannot move him out of there, and he now has 14 points, and you see Lancaster on a 6-2 run.
Carr against Leak, on top to McKnight. Here near side, Lucas. Near corner, Lightnecker. Lob inside to McKnight again, and he's hammered underneath by British Alexander, who finds himself on the deck.
Yeah, McKnight is doing a much better job of getting open on the baseline. He's running the baseline low, and Coach Kaufman has to really like the way that his star player has stepped up here and is asserting himself in scoring.
Inbounding behind their own bucket. Lucas to Brett McKnight in traffic, and he has the basketball stolen by British Alexander. Now here's Patrick Hill in the front court. Crossover dribble. Had it almost stolen, and a dunk attempt from the right baseline by Wright off of the rim. And here comes McKnight. Bounce pass, left block, pump fake. Carr reverses it, and they'll reset their half-court offense.
And take a look at the points in the paint. Trotwood, 14-point advantage, 26-12, and that's why they have the 6-point lead.
Inside, Lightnecker, and he gets his second field goal of the game, and a big one there.
And he'll cut into that points in the paint lead. Is now really that's really where the Gales have scored. The Golden Gales have done a nice job inside in the half court to cut in this lead and get it down to 4 now.
4 minutes left, third quarter, 4-point game, 30-26. The Rams have possession, and this is Wright. His jumper off of the rim, no good. Fighting for the rebound, Marone, who's been a force down on the blocks, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by him, out of bounds to the Golden Gale.
Yeah, you mentioned Marone, a force on the blocks. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field. He has really been the guy that has given Trotwood this 4-point lead.
Well, the Golden Gales have handled the man-to-man press well. And the lob inside off of the right foot of McKnight, I do believe. Yes, off of his shoe. And it'll go out of bounds to the Rams.
Just good man-to-man defense by British Alexander. Got his arm in there and hit the ball off. And you see rebounds also going the Rams' way, 20-11.
Patrick Hill in the front court. Kicks it back out to Alexander. His shot, string music.
Pushes the lead back to 6, and British Alexander is 6th man on this team, and he is the guy that comes in and kind of gives them a lift and gets them invigorated. And that's kind of what he's done here.
Oh boy, McKnight, Brett McKnight was bringing the ball up by himself, and it went off his shin.
And the turnover now, they had the lead down to 4. If the Rams can convert here, then push it back out to 8.
Patrick Hill, the junior. Now to Alexander, near corner to right. To Alexander, looking down low for Marone. They're doing a better job defending Marone on the blocks, but he still attacks him with the jump hook, and he gets the bucket and the foul.
And the problem with Marone is if he gets to a spot, nobody on the floor out there can move him off of it. And that's all he's doing. He's setting a wide base and calling for the ball right there. Nobody is physically strong enough to keep him from going where he wants to go. And he draws the foul and gets the basket.
Well, they even brought backside help and couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
57% free throw shooter, and he drills that one for the three-point play.
17 points in the game now for Marone, and he has really stepped up.
And I believe he's leading all scorers.
Yes.
At the 2:47 mark, 35-26 our score. Lightnecker. All reverse layup won't go by Brett McKnight.
And that time, it's kind of what I was getting at with playing faster than you're capable of doing. The 5-0 run for Trotwood Madison. But the Gales last time down just played out of control. That shot didn't have a chance of going.
And Christopher McKnight called on the reach-in foul. I tell you, you talk about the McKnights and how many of the brothers played here. Phil Jr. played at Salem, and Chad at Morehead State, now playing in Europe. And Brett, his teammate, 4 of them. And the, wow.
Take a look at Chris. Yeah, Chris Wright putting on a show. And this was after the block, the alley-oop to finish it off. And Chris Wright has gotten out and run, and he and Marone, you know, the 2 guys inside that we talked about, have really done a nice job.
Well, he's going to Dayton, but he's flying high in Columbus tonight. And the fans have been coming out in droves. And historically, the OHSAA state championships have drawn fans from all over the state. So good crowds on hand every game, and with the girls' games as well.
Yeah, the thing is, you get to see guys that are going to be playing at Dayton, Akron, Indiana State, just in this game alone. And then earlier we saw a couple of OSU recruits light it up too.
Alexander misses, but guess who? Marone there with the rebound. And he can't convert, and the tip in won't go, but he comes up with the loose ball, but it's stolen away by McKnight. And alertly slows it up. He looked for a long outlet for a second, but then put it in the hands of your guards. And here's Kevin Carr. Motion, stolen away. Patrick Hill, going to go coast to coast. Gets the basket and the foul as he was fouled by Jordan Lucas.
That's just a great defensive play by Patrick Hill. And Madison now with their biggest lead of the game as he converts, trying to make it a 3-point play. But he overplayed the passing lane and then took it right to the hoop. And some fresh legs coming in to go running for the Rams.
Well, they'll rotate a lot. Dwayne Morgan returns. Dominic Britt returns. Going out for the Golden Eagles is Brett McKnight.
Trotwood Madison a 15-3 lead on points off of turnovers. And Patrick Hill turned a errant pass into 2, and he's trying to make it a 3-point play.
And it's up and in. The biggest lead of the ball game, 12. Now full court man-to-man pressure for the first time.
And again, they don't want to let the Gales get into any type of half-court rhythm. And they've done a nice job of making sure they haven't.
Important possession here for the Golden Gales. Cutter. Lightnecker in traffic. Clutches midair. Gets the kiss off the glass. Big field goal there by Lancaster. And that's his 3rd field goal of the ball game.
And now what the Gales need is some turnovers and some defensive stops. Is 10-point lead for Trotwood Madison.
Dwayne Morgan Jr. gets a screen by teammate Chris Wright, and he'll rattle it home. 40-28. 1:15 remaining, quarter number 3. Bounce pass to Lucas. Off of the head of Lightnecker and another turnover.
Just miscommunication on the cut there.
Patrick Hill lobs, gets his own tip, won't go. Cleared by Lucas.
And you saw Trotwood Madison, huge advantage in the points in the paint, 31-14 now.
Three-point attempt off of the rim, and Wright with the rebound. And let's see if the Rams spread the floor or start working clock.
They're going to go for the final shot here. 30 seconds. And the other thing this does is it forces the Gales to come out and defend them, and that just opens up more court for their quickness to be used. So it's a win-win. If you don't come out, we're going to take the last shot. If you do, you're opening the court up for us to cut to the basket.
Alexander has the rock. Now put in the hands of Hill, picked up by Carr. 6 seconds. Down to 4. Loose ball picked up by Britt. In the corner at the buzzer. That was a live ball. Alexander can't convert. At the end of 3. 12-point Trotwood lead. 40-28 here in the Division I semis. Welcome back as we start the fourth quarter of play. And the Rams have got it done defensively, and especially in the rebound department as you take a look at the numbers. But McKnight off of the turnover, dishes it over to his brother. His jumper, yes. And that's what they need. Now down to a 10-point lead. Now both these teams have made runs this year.
The danger here for the Gales is in order to get back in it, they have to pressure, and that encourages a transition game, and that plays into Trotwood Madison's hands.
Oh, Morgan Jr. with a nice crossover move and a good jumper inside of the lane. The 5'6" junior, one of the fastest guys on the floor. Bounce pass stolen away. Nice dish to Alexander, and he throws it down.
Very unselfish play by Britt to find British Alexander to finish that off. And just like that, they push it back to 14.
And Matthew Lakes there on the assist for the Rams. Inside, McKnight, and he's fouled going up. Take a look at the assist and then the dunk.
Great presence of mind by Britt to know that he had Alexander coming with him and to get him the ball right in step when he could finish.
Yeah, Britt saying, hey, that was my assist, Eric, not Matthew Lakes. Got to give me that. Well, Coach John Kaufman, he's concerned.
Well, yeah, because in order to get back into this, he has to pressure and trap and try to create turnovers, and that plays into the Rams' style of play.
And Brett McKnight, the front end of a pair, up and in, 62.5% free throw shooter. Ibrahim Marone will take a rest. Chris Wright will return. Or Marone will check in for Wright.
17 points and 8 rebounds for Marone as he comes back into the game.
And McKnight hits 2 out of 2. 12-point game. And now three-quarter court pressure by Lancaster for the first time tonight. Cross-court pass up for grabs, but the Rams come down with it. Marone is hammered. Going to the well.
Heads-up play by British Alexander to tap that pass that was kind of errant into the hands, and they get it to Marone, and he'll head to the line.
Marone, a 57% free throw shooter. Memory serves, he's 1 for 1 tonight as he converted on a three-point play. The front end of the pair. And rattles out.
And he really has been, the guy that has helped them get out to this lead. I know Wright has played well, but can't get away.
Marone's been the story.
17 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah. And the back end up and in. In fact, averages 5.5 rebounds a game, so having a stellar game here tonight at the shot sticks up.
Yeah, of his 8 rebounds, 7 are offensive glass, which have led to those second chance points we talked about.
Now the Rams throw a three-quarter court trap at the Golden Gales. Out of bounds. Lancaster will maintain possession. Trailing by 13 at the 6:28 mark. Ike Thornton, you know the story, going to Texas. His wife going back, had a job, so he was going to go with her there. And after going 11-5, have gone on a 10-game winning streak. McKnight on the blocks. But an offensive rebound, a rare offensive rebound for the Golden Gales. And Swinehart
found McKnight somehow underneath the basket. It wasn't pretty, but they got the 2 points.
Yeah, in fact, he threw it off the chest of one of the Rams when he was in traffic. Here's Dwayne Morgan Jr. Long three. No. Rebound, McKnight. Strong rebound in traffic. So Swinehart, long outlet to Lightnecker. And Lightnecker gets his 4th field goal with a good kiss off of the glass. And the Gales have a little run going. And now they come out with a 3/4 court trap defensively. The Rams break it easily, but that's a turnover on Morgan as that basketball came over his head. So turnover to Lancaster.
And this is, again, you know, this plays into Trotwood's hands, but they've turned the ball over a couple times. The Gales have been able to get the baskets that have cut it down now to a 9-point lead. And you see 12-9 in the turnover department.
Timeout on the floor, and we'll take it with them. 45-36, Lancaster back-to-back field goal. Welcome back, everybody. Grange Insurance Sports Site, Thursday and Friday at 11:30. Get all the scores and highlights of the action of the brackets Thursday and Friday nights at 11:30 only on Grange Insurance Sports Site, exclusively on ONN, Ohio's channel for high school sports. Looking inside for McKnight. And British Alexander wouldn't let him set up, and they throw it away.
Yeah, and it's at the point of the game where the Gales cannot afford to turn the ball over or give the Rams easy points. Down 9 with just 5:12 to go. Each possession becomes more and more important to get back into this.
With a 9-point lead, nice bounce pass, and oh wow, British Alexander. We talked about the athleticism. You've seen it there. Hung in the air, got the foul, and almost got the kiss off the glass.
Tell you what was impressive about that. They called the timeout, and they found exactly how they wanted to break that pressure. They had no problem breaking the pressure. It was 3 passes, and they're at the basket, and out there at the line, shooting at the free throw line.
Alexander, 58% free throw shooter, misses the front end. Returning for Lancaster is Jordan Lucas as he comes in for Drew Swinehart. And Alexander misses that attempt, and Brett McKnight with the rebound.
And Coach Ike Thornton just shaking his head because he knows this is the time where free throws can really put this one away. And Coach Thornton played on Dayton Roth's state championship team back in 1981, so he knows what it's like to cut down the nets in the final game of the year as a champion.
Carr from downtown off of the back of the rim, but kept alive as McKnight chases it down here in the near corner, and they'll reset their half-court offense. Carr to Lucas. Lucas looking inside for Brett McKnight. Brett McKnight finds his brother Christopher McKnight, and he gets the basket and the foul. Big field goal there by the 6'6" senior.
And the McKnight brothers really showing a nice awareness of where each others are. Out top, Brett McKnight will get it right here. Comes back out, and he finds his brother inside. And the Gales now on an 8-1 run, make it a 9-1 run.
So it's still anybody's ball game at the 4:21 mark. A 5-point Trotwood lead, 45-39, or a 6-point Trotwood lead, 45-39. Loose ball picked up by Lancaster. And McKnight, 3-on-1. No-look pass, right block, but Kevin Carr cannot convert, goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Rams, so Lancaster maintains possession.
And Kevin Carr is really upset with himself. He's kind of just shaking his head down there. He knows that was an opportunity there. Look at the no-look pass by the younger McKnight brother, Brett.
Well, I tell you, Kevin Carr says, how do you do? He made up for missing that layup, and it's a new ball game, a 4-point game at the 4-minute mark. And the gale is blowing here in the shot as momentum has gone the way of Lancaster. Out of bounds. Last touch by Brett McKnight.
You see an 11-1 run for the Golden Gales has cut that lead to 4, and it just came out of nowhere. It isn't like you sensed it coming. It just kept going, and there's the jumper by Kevin Carr, and that makes up for the easy one that he missed. No one was more upset about that miss than him.
No
he
doubt.
just kept shaking his head, and you can tell he was beating himself up, and that's the way you make up for it, Kevin.
Well, the shot center is now getting loud. The fans getting into this one. Trapped on the baseline and taken away. McKnight ties him up. And now Lancaster will have possession as momentum stays with the Golden Gales.
And Brett McKnight has really stepped up the last couple minutes to help complement Carr and his brother Chris McKnight. And the Gale fans are out jumping and ready to get this even closer.
4-point lead by the Rams. They led as much as 13, I believe. They forgot about Carr. His kiss off the glass, too strong. Loose ball. And Wright comes up with it. And then his outlet over to his guard, Patrick Hill, goes out of bounds, much to the delight of the fans of the Gale.
And Coach Kaufman is just trying to tell them, guys, settle down. We're back in it now, 3:27, only down 4. You see the missed tip. And then the pass just goes off his hands and out of bounds.
Lucas will inbound. There on the right block, getting the bucket, Kevin Carr. 2 big field goals here in the last minute, and it's a 2-point ball game here at the Value City Arena.
And it's a 13-1 run that has put the Gales within 2.
Hill has to find help. Bounce pass, Marone loses it, maintains possession. And a big field goal there by Scott Jones. The leaner stops the bleeding now as the Rams now go back on top by 4.
And again, now let's see if the Gales can get into that half-court offense that they are so well known for.
McKnight off the dribble. His shot is blocked by Chris Wright, I do believe.
Yeah, it was. McKnight took it right in, and Wright took it right out.
As you take a look at another good shot blocker, and Ibrahim Marone. But they maintain possession. Spread the floor. Setting up their offense. Carr off the dribble, pulls up at the left elbow, and a whistle underneath. And the foul is going to be on, I believe, the Golden Gales. Yep, and it's on Christopher McKnight.
He was crashing the offensive boards, and you see Coach Kaufman and Coach Thornton has to be a little concerned because this wasn't like a gradual thing. It was all of a sudden, you know, that 13-1 run made it a 4-point game. And it's still that 4-point game.
Trapping defense, 3-quarter court style by the Golden Gales. The Rams still in the backcourt. Still in the backcourt. And it's a 10-second backcourt. They got the turnover. The 3-quarter court trap confused the Rams, and his teammates did not come back to help Scotty Jones.
And again, it's just they didn't recognize how they wanted to break it. They kept playing with it at, you know, 3-quarter court. And they didn't really have a plan to attack that trap. You see the turnovers now very close, 14-13.
4-point game at the 2:12 mark. McKnight, nice dish down to his brother, who's fouled and gets the bucket.
Oh, what a job of fighting that up and putting it in. You've got to have some hand strength and some upper body strength to convert this 3-point play. Here it is inside the little brother. He's not very little as he fights it up. And he'll get the basket and go to the line, trying to cut it to just a 1-point lead if he can convert.
There was a set of brothers back in the late 60s at Lancaster. The Bachman brothers, 3 of them. But tonight, the McKnight brothers showcasing well the 3-point play up and in by McKnight. And now a 1-point game at the 2:05 mark. Again, a 3-quarter court trap by the Gales. And it's a turnover. And Lancaster can take the lead with a field goal here. A change of events here in the 4th quarter. As McKnight. Here to Carr. Carr to Lightnecker. Lightnecker, bounce pass, left block. And the shot too strong. Alexander really played him well defensively. As look at the Rams push it up the court with number 34, Patrick Hill.
Foul's going to be on Carr. And you see a 13-4 run earlier is what Lancaster is now on. And going to the line trying to shut that down.
I go back to British Alexander defensively, working against McKnight down there on the post on the last Lancaster possession. Here's Patrick Hill. The front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Strong rebound by Christopher McKnight. Goes up high and rips it out of the sky.
You mentioned the McKnight brothers. 16 points for Chris, 13 points for Brett. And that's what's gotten them back in this.
And McKnight is getting a body check by Chris Wright. So the foul on number 33. Coach Ike Thornton wants a timeout, but they don't see him. And now the referee does. He wants to talk things over. The Gales, the winds continue to blow for Lancaster as they are making a game of it. Who would have thought, trailing by 12 and 13 in the fourth quarter, and things looked totally in command of the Rams, and then what a run. John Kaufman trying to take this first Gale team to the championship. Back in '66 with Rex Kurd, they were eliminated in the semis. Back in 1991, Coach Jack Greathouse and that fine team got eliminated in the semis. Could this be the year that the Golden Gales make it through?
And you know, we mentioned the Brookhaven game, so that they came back from down quite a few to win that on the tip-in. So they are not thinking, boy, we can't do this when they're down. They've been there, they've done it, and that adds a certain degree of confidence because they've done it in a big game like this.
Well, talk about pressure, and you have some pressure on Trotwood now, but Trotwood, even though they're not trailing, I want to share this with you. They were down 15 with 2 minutes left late in the season against Fairmont and still beat them. Coming up at 11:30, stay tuned here at O&N for the Grange Insurance Sports site. Dandy Crow and JJ will give you all the scores and highlights of today's action, and they'll set the table for you for the Weekend of Champions tomorrow on O&N. Inside, McKnight pulls up, grazes off of the rim. Loose ball is chased down and saved by Chris Wright. As Marone with a big possession there. Possessing that ball. This is Patrick Hill, and a whistle and a foul. It's going to be a 1-and-1. Trotwood still leads by 1. And Patrick Hill at the line.
Just a 50% free throw shooter on the year. You see 3 points and 1 of 3 from the field, and he makes a very big free throw.
Very big indeed, Dave. It extends the lead to just 2. You can make it a 3-point game with this one. Inside of 1 minute, and it's a 3-point ball game. Let's see if the Rams come with pressure. They will. Kevin Carr, been a big part of this fourth quarter comeback. Here's Lucas off the dribble to McKnight, to Lightnecker. Open for 3, blocked by Chris Wright. A huge block by the 6'6" junior. Oh my.
And they foul Hill and sent him to the line again. And he'll go to the line as a 50% free throw shooter.
And we award our Grange Most Valuable Player, Ibrahim Marone. As we take a look at some of the Golden Gales work, Ibrahim Marone, number 32, will take a breather, and he is awarded our Grange MVP. Congratulations to him. Patrick Hill, important free throws at the 31-second mark. The front end of 1-and-1. And now it's a 2-possession game as Trotwood leads by 4.
And we mentioned he's only a 53% free throw shooter, but he's just hit 3 of the biggest free throws all season long. And he'll try to make this now back to a 5-point lead.
And he does with that free throw. Again, pressure on the inbounds. Lucas breaks it with the pass to Carr. Carr, nice spin move. Another spin move. Goes to the rack, and his shot off of the back of the rim, no good. Big rebound by Chris Wright. Stolen away by the Golden Gales. And McKnight converts on the left block, and quickly, John Kaufman calls a Lancaster timeout. Now let's go ahead and give Marone his video package, our Grange MVP. How about the performance on the offensive rebounds and the putbacks?
I'll tell you what, he is just a big body, and he's strong inside. There he gets away with a little bit of a push-up, but, you know, not called, it doesn't matter. Gets after it, puts it back in. The problem is he gets the ball somewhere, and he's so big, nobody on the floor can move him.
18 points, 10 rebounds. Just a stellar performance by him. He averages 5.5 rebounds a game and 12.5 points per game. So,
and that's usually what happens in games like this. One of the secondary players on your team needs to elevate his game. Tonight it's Marone, and it means a 3-point lead with 15 seconds left, and the Rams will have the ball. And remember, winner of this gets Canton McKinley, the defending state champs in Division I, tomorrow night right here on O&M.
Oh, and that Bulldog team looks good, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Raymar Morgan, and Raymar Morgan will be interesting to see going against either one of these front lines.
So the Rams have possession. Lancaster has to foul immediately. Coach Ike Thornton wants to close out his career at the Rams with a state championship berth.
Right now, what they want to do, if they don't get the turnover immediately, you try to find someone to foul. But you need to do it quickly.
And there's the foul, and they fouled Darby, who's a 66% free throw shooter.
Well, you know, we had mentioned that Hill was a 50% free throw shooter. He hit 4 in a row. So it's better off to try someone else.
Ahmed Darby, the 6'2" junior. And a couple of big free throws here. The front end, no. So 12.5 seconds remaining.
Just needs the one. Right here, it makes it a 2-possession game.
And he does.
And it sticks. Net was tangled up there, and the ball stuck.
I like this move by Coach Ike Thornton.
Yep.
He is bringing the pressure because that takes time off the clock. Carr will break the pressure via the dribble. He'll drive the lane. His shot off of the glass, no. Lightnecker's put back is up and in, and another timeout at the 4.3 second mark.
And what you do here is you want to play possession for a point if you have to, and now it's a 2-point game. So if you can get him to only make one of the free throws, if you can't get a turnover, then a 3 ties it.
Well, sometimes, you know, coaches will come in and defending the inbound, you grab a little jersey of somebody and somebody pushes off and you fall to the ground.
You do whatever you can do to get the basketball. And that's Lancaster's final timeout. So the Golden Gales out of timeouts. 4.3 left. Again, if they get the ball in bounds, you don't get the turnover. As soon as you can, you have to foul. And the possession arrow favors Trotwood Madison as well.
So if they tie it up, they'll still have possession. Well, Trotwood Madison Rams have never been to the Final Four. And the fans in the red and white cheering their team on in hopes of a visit tomorrow as part of the Weekend of Champions. The OHSAA State Finals. So you're going to see full court pressure. If they can't get the steal, like you said, Dave, they're going to immediately foul. Got to get rid of it. And he lost it. But he's going to run out the, nope, there is a foul. I thought he got away, and I was thinking he was going to run out the clock.
The ball was just sitting there, and I don't think the defender saw it. And Jordan Lucas has fouled out, his 5th foul. And it's going to be Darby who split the pair last time heading back to the line.
So if he hits 2, it'll be over.
If he hits 2, it's over. If he hits 1, it's got to be a rebound and a quick long pass and pretty much a desperation shot with just 2.1 left. And as we mentioned, Lucas has fouled out.
So now you're going to bring in your three-point shooters probably. So Swinehart returns. And as you said, one free throw, it's still a one-possession game, but if he hits both of them, that'll ice it for the Rams. Three-point game.
Like the poise of Darby, he has just gone and split a pair before, makes the first one now. If he makes this, it's pretty much over. 2.1 seconds left to be a two-possession game. And
big free throw, string music, 2.1 seconds remaining. Lancaster with the long inbound, and the time is going to expire, and the Rams, for the first time in school history, are going to the finals.
And a nice story. They're going to take their coach, who's stepping down to be with his family in San Antonio, to the state championship game against the defending state champs. And Wright and Marone were two of the vocal people that said, Coach, we want this to end in Columbus in that final game, and they've got that wish. Now the key is, can you bring home the hardware too?
And they're going to